Today I'm doing 100 days as a thief in Skyrim. Here are the rules. No looted items, no quick save pickpocketing, fence trading and Thieves Guild merchant trading only, and lastly, no serving time. For rule number 1, we can only take items that are marked in red. So we can take items laying around in homes or chests if they're marked with a red steel text. I'm gonna have some exceptions to this. Things that are quest-related items I have to take to complete an objective, and items that are automatically placed into my inventory as a quest reward are fine. So gold given to me for doing jobs at the guild, for example, is fine to keep. And I'm gonna say anything I get at the guild in general, like the guild armor, is fair game. I'm also allowed to pick up collectible Thieves Guild items so we can display them in the Thieves Hangout location. It's more of a guideline, really, these rules. But I'll be good and try not to take the mick. The no quick save pickpocketing rule will be fun. If we see an item we want in someone's inventory, we have to risk a bounty and possible jail time if we want to try to get it. That flows nicely into our no serving time rule. See, in Skyrim we can serve time to get out of jail by skipping a good few days in-game. But we want to try our absolute hardest to break out of jail if we get into that situation. Sometimes it's impossible, but we have to try our best to escape, and not serve the time if we can. If I'm stuck in jail with no other way to escape than to pick up an item that's not marked as steal, then that's also fine, but I have to try all other ways to escape first. Only trading with fences and the guild in general will severely limit our options for purchasing stuff, and should make for a fun challenge too. As for the difficulty, we're playing on legendary difficulty, and enabling survival mode. With us needing to eat in survival mode, that will give us an extra challenge for the mode, with us having to mostly steal our food. This is gonna be a lot of fun. Let's get into it. This video is inspired by me recently watching Major Slack Attack's Pure Thief walkthrough. In his video, he goes for Imperial, so you can have the voice of the Emperor racial ability to calm enemies around you once a day. I was close to doing the same, but I'm going with a Khajiit. Because I can already see the comments on this one. Gave myself a bit of a black mark on one side of my head and called this sneaky guy Smudge. He's adorable. I've not played a Khajiit for a good while. It must have been a solid 10 years. They have starting stats that benefit a thief build, and their racial ability lets them see in the dark for a bit.
Next, the cat!
Alduin interrupts my beheading, thankfully, and I'm running through the streets trying to escape the flames. We made it to a keep with Hadvar and Imperial. I got my binds cut and stare at the items around me I can't loot. He wants you to loot a chest for some armor and weapons, but I don't have to take them to progress. If I have to take something like that to move forward in a quest, then I'll allow it, but we don't have to this time around. Just opening and closing the chest is enough for the game to let you carry on. Hadvar runs into the next room where he meets some angry Stormcloaks. I hide around the corner, avoiding the fight. I'll be doing this whenever I get the chance, especially at the start of the playthrough, with us not being able to defend ourselves much at the minute. Hadvar is successful, but his battles aren't over yet. I peer around a door, watching as he gets his butt kicked by these guys. He survives this one, but it gets to a point where he's really struggling on his own. So it's time we step up and help him out. Psych! I'm running around them like my life depends on it, because it does! Something tells me we'll be doing a lot of running in this one. I left the keep through the back, with nothing to my name except the rags on my back. This is a playthrough I'd wanted to do for a long time, and it's gonna be a lot of fun. Snuck all the way to the standing stones and took the thief stone. Our sneaky related skills will level faster if we have this activated. I have some goals for the video too. I want to restore the Thieves Guild by getting all of the collectibles and beating all of the special quests associated with Delvin and Vex. I also want to get all of the stones of Barenziah, however you say that, and beat the entirety of the Thieves Guild questline. Yeah, a lot to do with not much time to get it done. There's some wolves along the road now that my cute cat butt can't handle yet. So I ride the river down to Riverwood to pass them easily and progress the main questline here. We're told to go tell the Jarl about the dragon attack at Helgen, but I'm scavenging for food. I normally never worry about food in survival mode. It's everywhere to buy and take. But with the thief rules, it's not going to be that easy. I got to work stealing food from tables at the inn. Most of the barrels here are free pickings normally and aren't marked as steal, so we can't take them. Some hanging rabbits and pheasants to grab that are marked in red though. I did check some pockets, but I didn't fancy trying my luck pickpocketing right now. Much more risky taking items like that versus just picking them up off tables and in barrels. Got some pricey potions at Belethor's. This isn't Belethor's. I don't know who this guy is. I carried them upstairs out of sight to move them into my inventory. I'll sell these later. I managed to get my hands on an axe too. When it comes to combat, I'm going for a cutthroat build. Sneaking up behind enemies with a blade and getting in lots of sneak damage that way. You can sleep here in Riverwood for free the first night at Alvor's house too. After resting up, I ate a little bit of food I'd stolen and started to make my way to Whiterun. I snuck the entire way, hoping to get some sneak experience for leveling. We're gonna be pretty weak when it comes to fighting, and I could do with the levels right now. We can't spend it until we rest again. Went into the city and got straight to work robbing the place blind. First up was the inn. I got some nice salt piles from barrels to cook my stolen food. There's a strong box and a lot of these business related items in town too. I picked open the one at the inn to find 58 gold. Getting our hands on lockpicks in this will be fun. We're gonna have to be careful with them until we can get to the Thieves Guild, where we can buy some from Tanelia, the merchant there. Stole the odd few bits from other stores too, but the main thing I got to use was a pair of light armor boots from the Drunken Huntsman. There's a Thieves Guild shadow mark on this building. I had no idea what this one meant as of this moment of recording, but the wiki says it means danger. This is a guard's barracks, so that makes sense. I'm standing in the middle of it with my pockets full of stolen gear. I better get out of here. I've not been very thorough with my house robbing, but I did get a good bit from there to sell and eat. I want to head for Riften now. This place is the thief capital of the game. We're getting right to twisting people's arms. The guard at the door tries to shake me down for some gold, calling it the visitor's tax. Even the law is up to no good here. I called him out on it and he caves pretty quick, opening the gate, allowing me into the city. I wanted to rest up here before getting into anything big, but after renting a room at the inn, I was pulled by Brynjolf.
Your pockets. They're a little low on coin. I can tell.
He has a job for me, but like I said, I wanted to rest up and wake the town first. Slept up and proceeded to spend my first level up. I'm taking stamina for the attribute point, and dumping the first perk point into sneak stealth, so we're 20% harder to detect while sneaking. In the morning, I cooked some food out of the salt piles and cabbages I'd stolen, so we have something good to eat. I walked outside to meet with Brynjolf for that job. When he causes a distraction, he wants me to steal a ring from a market stall and plant it on Brand Shay through pickpocketing. He starts trying to sell everyone a potion in the middle of the market. I go off to the stall and open up the strong box hidden below the counter and take the ring. Now for the scary part. We can easily fail this pickpocket attempt and will be sent to jail by the guards. We have an 88% chance to succeed. I close my eyes and click the button to place it. Success! Brynjolf's happy with how we performed and says if we want to continue this relationship, I'm to meet him at the Ragged Flagon below the city. To get to the Ragged Flagon, we have to go through the city's Ratways. Something that we're not really cut out for at this current point in time. But I'm gonna attempt it anyways. Brand Shay's been caught with the ring. The guard's about to cart him off. Poor guy. Let's get down to the Ratways. There's 5 enemies down here. 2 thugs at the door I just ran past. Or at least tried to run past. They beat the crap out of me a couple of times, but I got past them in the end and hid in a corner until they lost my scent. There's a skeever and an unarmed user we can avoid by picking open this side gate. But the lowlife up there is gonna be trouble. I waited a while to see if he'd turn around so I could sneak past, but he never did. So I ran past, getting spotted in the process. But now being in the flagon with the Thieves Guild, they seem to have my back and showed him what happens if you get on the wrong side of them. He's dead. And I talked to Brynjolf once again. He wants me to get some gold from some people around the town who haven't paid their protection money. Word on the street is the guild's not doing well, and the people of Riften are being a bit ballsy towards the guild at the minute. I smashed a precious jar to get the gold out of Bercy at the Pawned Prawn, and stole the statue of the Bella from Helga's bunkhouse to threaten her using it. I said I'd throw it down a well if she didn't pay up. She did, indeed, pay up, along with Kariva, the Argonian, running the Bee and Bard. She didn't take much arm twisting at this point and just hands over the gold. Now we have to make it through the Ratways once more. This time with one less enemy hiding out down there. I ran past the 2 thugs at the door and hid in the dark to lose them. Then used the gate I unlocked to get through to the flagon and talk to Brynjolf. That's the last time we'll have to make that trip, thankfully. I got my rewards from Brynjolf, that being a few potions that could come in handy. But most importantly, I was given a tour of the cistern and introduced to more of the guild. This rat is Mercer. He wants me to get involved in the golden glow job they have running at the minute. It can wait, but the whole thing is about the owner Arengoth being taught a lesson for betraying the guild and its association with Maven Blackbriar by burning some of the beehives there and clearing out the safe in the main house. I'm not equipped to deal with that right now. I'm not one bit. I went to meet Tanelia finally. She's a fence who we can sell our stolen goods to. I sold everything I could and bought 20 lockpicks from her. She'll restock every couple of days or so we'll buy them when we can, if we need them. She also gives us our own Thieves Guild armor. The armor increases carry capacity, boots give me better pickpocketing success, gloves make lockpicking easier, and the hood gives better prices with bartering. I really should have put this stuff on before selling her all of my stuff. But, oh well, not the last mistake we'll make. We do look pretty good in the gear, I will say, but now it's time to get some jobs going. Delvin Mallory can give us 3 types of jobs. The one I took was the numbers job. It's the easiest, for sure. He wants me to mess with the ledgers in shops and report back once I've done so. Vex is another one that hands out sneaky jobs. I took a shill job from her, so we have to go plant stolen items in people's homes to get them in trouble. Similar to what we did in the market earlier. Let's go get some of these jobs done. We can use this secret entrance and exit to the guild now. It's in the graveyard in town, so we never have to use the Ratways again. The shill jobs in Windhelm, we'll go there first, then head for Solitude to get the numbers job done. There's a thing in the game where you can do these quests to slowly make the Thieves Guild better. Doing 5 small jobs like these in cities to unlock a special job, and the reward for raising the guild influence in holes is a new merchant in the Ragged Flagon. This is something I've not done since getting the platinum trophy in the game about 12 years ago on PlayStation, and I can barely remember doing it. I'll try my best to gather all of the rare items and get all of the nice guild upgrades, and keep you updated as I get them. Like I said, we have a shill job here in Windhelm. I feel like it will be easier sneaking into the home during the day, with everyone out and about getting up to business, versus it being nighttime and everyone chilling at home sleeping. I have no idea if that's something we need to think about with this specific home, but with me not knowing, I'm not risking nighttime. Got another level up to spend first. I'm taking stamina again for the attribute, and the second stealth perk for 25% better sneaking. The home's door is already open. There's no lockpicking required. There was even people in here who didn't seem to mind me poking around. Placed a stolen golden necklace in a chest and cleaned out the place for food and anything worth more than 0 gold, basically. Got an unusual gem. There's a job at the guild tied to these, and we'll get to that later. I'm happy with how that went, so let's make a move to Solitude next. Taking the carriage for just 20 gold. Arriving at Solitude, there's an execution going on. This guy helped Ulfric escape the city after he killed King Torg. It's given me flashbacks to being called Cat on day 1. Solitude had the numbers job. Probably the easiest job you can do for the guild, which is why I picked it for now. We have to go into the Fletcher's building. Someone is still awake. I avoided him for now and spotted a freaking Daedric crossbow in a display case. I don't really want to use bows and crossbows outside of maybe distracting enemies, but I'm sure this will fetch me a pretty penny. 1,400 gold! Wow, I won't be able to sell it for that with my current speech level, but still a great find. The man awake has spotted me. Now we have to be quick before he calls the guards. I ran upstairs to the business ledger to get it forged, and ran my fluffy butt out of the door and back down to the carriage outside the city. That's 2 jobs done. I'm keeping track of how many I've done, and in which cities, by the way. So we know when special jobs are coming up, and rewards are unlocked. Oh, I also have to admit that does not last. I don't keep counting after... I stop counting after a little while. Surprisingly, I'm doing pretty good on food too. I thought it would be a real struggle, but we're a good few days in, and I've had no trouble on that front yet. I turned in my job to Delvin, and was massively disappointed with the 50 gold I got as a reward. Took another job and turned in with Vex. 50 gold is a bit disrespectful. Hopefully when my level increases, or the amount of jobs done has gone up, we'll have more for our efforts. Holy crap. What a stutter. Took 2 of the same jobs we just did, and sold my goodies along with the Daedric crossbow to the fence. I bought out all of her lockpicks this time around. We're doing decent on gold, so why not? We also have our 3rd level up to spend, I'm taking backstab in the sneak tree, so sneak attacks with one-handed weapons do 6 times damage. That is a big improvement. Not that I've backstabbed anything yet. It looks like both of these next jobs are in wide run, so we have a lot less travel to do to complete them. I'm gonna do these jobs for the next week or so in-game, just to make a good push early on them, and hopefully build up some gold and XP along the way. I really don't feel capable taking on the Golden Glow Estate job at this point in time. Up the stairs to the left of the front gate, when we walked in, is the home we have to complete the shill job at. I had to break in this time. It's just a novice lock, so nothing too difficult. Nobody looks to be home, so that's also great. Got a stolen amethyst placed in a chest, and took my time sweeping the place. Got a good amount of stuff before heading for Arcadia. That's her name. She owns the alchemy store in town, where we need to mess with a ledger. I got that done. Opened up her strong box too. It had more gold in it than we'd gotten as a reward from the guild, honestly. This is where we make the money from the jobs, is by getting as much as we can from the locations where we're at to sell to Tornilia. Speaking of, let's get back to Riften. We do have a bed to use at the Ragged Flagon to sleep at too, so that's nice. Rested up and ate some of my stolen food. Sat at a table with both Delvin and Vex. I got my 50 gold a job. And took 2 more while I'm at it. We'll have to change it up and go for one of the other jobs next time. I made sure to unload the stolen goods I didn't want to keep at the fence. One of the jobs we took is for a home right here in Riften. It's the shill job. The door was once again locked, and it was right in the middle of town. But my sneak is good enough that I can get in without anyone seeing me relatively easily. Nobody's home again. So I took my sweet time, taking anything not nailed down, and placing the stolen gem in a chest. I also hit the jackpot and found a leather backpack that'll increase my inventory space by 25 points. What a find. The numbers job is at the Bits and Pieces store in Solitude, way on the other side of the map. We didn't get anything as noteworthy as the backpack up here. It was a fairly straightforward job, and the goods were decent, but nothing to help us like the backpack this time around. I can't say I was as thorough this time, however. The owner was watching me like a hawk, so I left to not risk it. I really don't want my stolen goods confiscated by a guard. Besides the armor, I'd be set right back by having no food, potions, or anything really, unless I stole my goods back. Back in Riften to turn in the jobs and do something new, hopefully. I'm still getting 50 gold a job. I looked into what the fishing jobs are, but they involve pickpocketing, and I'm not feeling brave enough to do those just yet. The Bedlam jobs sound like a lot of fun though. Where to steal a set amount of gold worth of goods at holes. This one's to get 500 gold worth of stolen goods from Markarth while not getting caught. I did get a heist from Vex. It sounds a lot more interesting going off the name than it actually is. I'm to just take an item from one of the strong boxes at a store. This time in Windhelm's alchemy shop, called the White Phial. The guild also has this display area where you can collect cool looking unique items and sell them to Delvin, to then have them be displayed here. You can also get new ones on display by completing jobs for the guild, not just finding and picking them up. We've done 6 total jobs, passing the 5 jobs needed to get this candlestick show up. I'll leave it there and see how many we can get displayed. Fingers crossed we can get all of them. I want to take my time and get to know the guild as we go throughout our time here. Fryn forcefully showed up in my face while leaving the flagon, so let's get to know him.
I joined up with them maybe 10 years ago.
Listening to him and reading up on the wiki says before joining the guild, Fryn spent 3 years working with the same bandit clan that would raid villages, rob farms, and rob caravans. However, after attacking a caravan of farmers and rounding up the women and children, Garthak, their leader, ordered them to be killed. Fryn refused, and Garthak ordered Fryn be killed as well. Those who were faithful to Fryn sided with him immediately. The clan then tore itself apart, and Fryn personally put Garthak's head on a pike. Those that survived went their separate ways. Seems like a pretty cool guy. At least now anyways. Actually, maybe that's debatable. No, it's for sure debatable, actually. Never mind. Nobody's clean here at the guild. I'd like a horse to make getting around easier. I'm walking to Windhelm to save time. It saves time in-game doing this, but not in real life, because using a carriage passes so much more time in-game than simply traveling by foot yourself. I don't want to just straight up travel this way all of the time, but if we want to get all of the collectibles and do all of the guild quests, then this will be necessary sometimes. With just 100 days to work with and 125 thief guild jobs, it doesn't seem doable with carriage travel. I snuck all the way to Windhelm, hoping and succeeding at getting some sneak levels on my way. I also spotted some hunters and horses. I'm looking to make my first kill in an attempt to steal myself a horse. I drew my sword and got behind a hunter, only to do barely any damage to it with my backstab. This isn't going to work. I hopped on a horse and fled. I remember in older playthroughs stealing horses this way, and they would travel with you after carriage rides and fast travel in general, making them be effectively yours. But I had no such luck with this horse. It did help me in getting to Windhelm at least. It's gone 8 PM, so I was quick getting through the white file potion shop. There's 2 people here chatting, and they've already seen me, so I don't want a bounty. I stole the ring I needed from a strong box to complete the heist and made a quick exit. The horse has already left me. That's unfortunate. Using a carriage to get to Markarth was where I had a sinking feeling, finding out I can't keep that horse too. It didn't travel with me. Oh well. I did make my first kill today though. There's a murder that happens when you enter the city, and you're well within your rights to Uno reverse the guy. He was a forsworn lover, but that's none of my business. I walked into the Understone Keep, not really knowing what I was looking for. Anything pricey, really. What? There's a blacksmith merchant at the Understone Keep? I had no idea this place was here. Yoinking the crap out of this gear will do. I got more than the 500 gold worth of goods here. A bonus is anything you get in these jobs you get to keep, so that's nice. As a famous beloved clown once said, it's about sending a message that the guild work from the shadows and aren't to be trifled with. I got a level up to spend. After the failed backstab, maybe one-handed could do with a skill point. I'm putting one into armsman, so our one-handed weapons do 20% more damage. I turned in and got more jobs. These are endless, by the way, and might end up driving me crazy. I promise we'll get to more than just this in this video. Today I took the time to get to know Vekkel, the man, however you say that. He runs the bar here. He was once a resident of the orphanage in town, and has a job for me to collect some rare books from a burrow. He has a client with a particular taste in literature. Oh my god, I can't speak today. He'll also sell us a home in the Ratways, but it's way out of my budget currently. Now back to the horse thing for a minute. I went into the stables and stared at the chat options, where we can either buy a horse outright or buy a horse map to try to tame one. The way I've decided to do trading in this run is only trade with the guild. Me getting a map from this guy feels like breaking the rules, so I won't do it. Same with purchasing a horse, for example. Buying a service, like a carriage ride, or renting a bed, I'm gonna say is fine. You can get lost if you nitpick in the comments. And if you're triggered, then good. I'm just kidding. I'm not kidding. Made it to Windhelm and rented a room at the inn for just 10 gold to remove the blurriness going on. We're heading to the Grey Quarter for the heist. These guys already have it pretty rough here, so I feel a little bit bad. At the corner club upstairs is a strong box. I took the garnet for Vex and stole what I could from the building. I do feel bad for these guys, honest. The Nords here aren't very nice to them. And now I'm here also not being very nice to them by stealing their stuff. I have become the exact reason why Khajiit caravans aren't allowed into the city. The Bedlam job was in our home city, Riften. So I wanted to hit that place just on the way back instead of on the way out. So we can work. Inventory space isn't such an issue then, I guess. I hit up the market stalls in the middle of town, unlocking the sliding doors behind them and taking the goods hiding below. Just one stall is enough to get me over the 500 gold's worth of goods stolen. I got some gems, gold, and expensive shoes to sell. The next good few days are a bit of a disaster. I'm on my way to Windhelm by foot, and I once again sneakily stole those hunters' horse to help with the travel, and made my way back to the Grey Quarter to cause some chaos.
You like living in this filthy slum, Dark Elves? Maybe you should go back to Morrowind where you belong!
What a lovely chap that guy is. I really feel bad for these guys. This time we're going to Saidri's Used Wares, the general store in the Grey Quarter. The strongbox is close to the door, and we don't have to sneak around anyone to get to it. Got the silver amethyst ring stolen, and stole some pretty pricey potions he had behind his counter. I promise you, I feel terrible doing it. I don't. I really don't. It took me about 7 minutes to get to Windhelm by foot from Riften. I got to Windhelm, did the job, and got out before the sun even rose. I even made it back to Riften on foot, just as it was getting light out. That's a pretty efficient day before the storm. The Bedlam job was once again in this city, and most of the 500 gold worth of stolen goods was from the Pawned Prawn, where we broke that jar previously trying to get that protection money from the owner. I turned in, and well, these next jobs are where it all goes to crap for me. A run-in with the law is imminent. I took yet another Bedlam job, but switched things up with a burglary job from Vex. They're very similar to the heist, but this time, it's not shops we rob, it's homes, for fancy-looking items. The Bedlam job is all the way over at Raven Rock. To get there, we first have to travel to Windhelm, and then hire a boat at the docks for 250 gold to take us to the island of Solstheim, where we arrive at Raven Rock Town. I have no interest in what's going on here. Mirak can have his way with the island for all I care. But me? I didn't have my way with the Robin situation. I'm to get 500 gold worth of goods here, but despite me getting that much goods worth, I got caught in a manor. And well, that's really not good. I bribed the guards, telling them I'm with the guild to get away from jail time and losing my stuff. But I continued to steal to see if I could get the objective complete. And it just wouldn't pop, no matter how much stuff I stole. And that was a wasted trip. We did get a lot of items to sell, but also lost 500 gold with the travel to and from the island. Next up, we're off over to Markarth again. I'm getting whiplash traveling around these cities, but it's gotta be done. Dungeon delving isn't the life of a thief. It's the shadows in the cities is where we live. I failed to stick to the shadows on day 15. That burglary job was done while tired and hungry, so my screen's a mess. And I got caught taking the item I'm here for. It's an ornate drinking horn, but I'm getting sent to the slammer. I didn't want to pay off my bounty and lose my stolen items, and I couldn't fight my way out of the city. So I submitted and went to jail. I wasn't sure if your items go into the evidence chest if you pay your bounty, so that's my bad if they do. But little did I know, this jail absolutely sucks, and is impossible to break out at this stage. They want you to mine ore in the cave to serve your time. My screen is a mess with no way to fix it in here. I tried always to find a way out. I even pickpocketed some skooma to trade for a shiv, but I never ended up using it. The wiki says there's no way out unless you do a quest that I don't have access to yet. So I have no other choice than to pick up a pickaxe and mine for ore to serve my time. I don't like doing it, but if we have no other choice, it's okay going by the rules. I got out and only have my items not stolen, like my guild gear, shiv surprisingly, and a pickaxe. I rested at the inn before returning to the prison, and then went on in expecting to find my stolen items. Shiv in hand, just in case, and I picked open a gate and the evidence chest holding my stuff. We are back to where we were, thankfully. And I even got some extra bits in the prison to sell, like these potions. I do have the burgled item we were sent here for, but getting caught would fail the job. So the last couple of jobs were a waste of time, but at least we learned some things. I didn't even know this shiv existed in the game, to be honest. Returned to Riften day 17 and got grilled by both Delvin and Vex about failing the jobs. And I got some new ones. At least we got plenty to sell to Tanelia. Chilling out a little, getting to know this guy. This is Viper, or Viper, the fleet. I don't know how you say it. He's a master level pickpocket trainer, so I took the chance while I had the gold to do 5 levels with him, taking pickpocket to level 26. He said he got it from a job in Windhelm with Vex. Their client alerted the authorities to their presence in the city. They were pursued by guards and got separated. Vex was able to lose her pursuers rather quickly by blending into the shadows. However, Viper was not able to lose the guards and ran out the main gate and ran all the way back to Riften. Upon arriving and seeing Vex and the rest of the guild laughing at him, he only then remembered that he and Vex had left their horses just outside Windhelm. Vex had ridden hers to Riften, arriving hours earlier. Once he's done telling his story, he asks the Dragonborn to not tell anyone, and says, and I already love this guy. Pickpocket trainer and a fun story to go along with it. Next job is in Whiterun, so let's head on over. Open for a few stress-free days after that prison mess. I'm wanting to unlock one of the special quests we get after doing 5 jobs in a major city before going to progress anything else. This way, we're getting some easy XP for sneaking stuff as we go, and increasing the size of our coin bag. Isolde's house in Whiterun is our next target. It's daytime, and she's normally pottering around the market, looking pretty. So I'm taking the chance to ransack an empty home. It's tiny in here. Not much to steal besides the jeweled flagon for the quest. But I did take what I could before leaving. I was also curious outside of the stables on if I could pickpocket the wild horse map, but I can't see it in this guy's inventory. Sad times. Over to Markarth for the Bedlam job. Played it safe here, stealing from the blacksmith out on the streets and, well, the prison. Not that safe, I guess. But I knew my way around, and it felt simple to me. On paper, this probably seems stupid. I lost an entire day traveling from Markarth to Riften. That's really not ideal. I'm about to consult Mr. Reddit on free horses we can get in a minute. But for now, let's turn in these jobs. I'm getting 100 gold from the jobs now. That's awesome. Still not much, but cool to see the profit is going up. I got some more jobs, but we do need to look into that mount situation. I'll do it right after these next lot of jobs. Belethor's ledger got hit. I looked him dead in the eye before making a break for his stairs and the books. Messed with them and ran out the door while he ran up the stairs after me. Too slow, sucker. I mistakenly thought Riften's job was a bedlam job, and I started cleaning out the blacksmith safe in town. I got some heavy, expensive armor that's making me over-encumbered. I do not want to and will not drop it. The job was to plant a stolen item in a home, and the home was empty anyways. I took my time planting the item, and while my inventory is too full to sprint, I might as well pack it as much as I can with more junk. Rolled back to the flagon very, very slowly and sold a bunch to Tanelia to get my walking abilities back. I turned in and got more jobs, but I'm done for a minute. I'm spending a perk point on Speech's haggling perk, so we have 10% better prices while bartering. And Reddit says I can get a horse called Frost through sneaky means, and I intend on doing just that. At the Bean Bard, we need to find someone called Louise Letrust. Here he is. He has a deal going on, or at least had a deal going on. He paid half for a horse called Frost, but Maven Blackbriar's son called Sibby, who he was buying it off, got locked up in prison before the deal was finished, and they think that cuts the deal off. Letrust says it does not. I went to the prison in Riften and got Sibby to tell me where the horse is and all of its legal paperwork. At the Blackbriar's Lodge up on the hill from Riften is where we can find Frost and that paperwork. I went on over, and to my surprise, I could take down the 2 guards at the door with little to no trouble at all. Even had me check if I was still on legendary difficulty with how quick they went down. Oh, I bought this orcish axe from Tanelia too. It does 16 damage, better than what I had, and it's not helping me on the inside of the lodge. I'm dead. And it's not good enough for in here. They have more health on the inside and do a lot more damage than I can do to them. Luckily, the papers were really, really close to the entrance of the lodge, and getting caught by them was very avoidable. Or so I thought. They spotted me on the way out and chased me out the door. Frost was hiding behind the stables from the drama we'd created. I popped on him with the paperwork and rode for Letrust out in the forest not far from here. And then, in true bad kitten fashion, I told him I'd tell Maven all about what happened if I didn't leave with the horse myself.
Fine, you win. Take the horse and leave.
He runs off, and Frost is mine, in a way I can accept for a thief's playthrough. I used Frost to travel all the way across the map to Solitude in about 10 minutes IRL. I did the 2 guild jobs I had there and went to return to the Rift. I won't be using Frost all of the time, but we'll have to take some jobs this way if we want to stand a chance of getting all of the collectible guild items. I turned in the jobs and got my gold rewards before, you guessed it, taking up even more jobs. Got me a level up. I'm upping my speech some by putting another point into haggling for 15% better prices. I can't wait to unlock some more fences, so we're not just working with Tanelia's gold. I got to know Nurin, I don't know how you say it. I don't know how to say any of these names. He's a wood elf who was cast out by his father for his bad behavior. Did a good bit of pickpocket training in this playthrough with Viper. I don't even know. Not really going to be leveling the skill all too much by getting my hands dirty pickpocketing super often, but I will be doing it from time to time, and it's good to be ready with leveling it like this. There's a thief at the Bean Bard in town. He's broken the guild's rules of getting caught and is paying for it. Don't mind me. I just gotta forge these numbers. You can kind of abuse the system by cancelling jobs Delvin and Vex give you until you get a job here in Riften instead of, let's say, Solitude on the other end of the universe, making travel less of a problem. As of right now, I'm not sure how I feel about it. We do need 5 jobs in certain holds to get the guild's reputation up in them, so we can't just do Riften jobs currently anyways. But it's good to know that exists in case I start to go mad. Traveling by horseback to Whiterun. I have jobs there, and we're really close to getting a special job for Whiterun City. I had to break into someone called Heimskir's house. I can't remember this place being a thing, like, ever. It's always been right here in the middle of town, but I can't recall it looking as culty as it is. I for sure won't forget this place now. Get me out of this place. I placed the stolen necklace and got on out of here. We have one more job in the city before we leave. Just gotta mess with the Ledger and War Maidens. That's an easier and much less spooky one. That should also unlock a special job in Whiterun too. I just have to go see what Delvin has to say about our progress. Yes, he has that special job for us. He says someone called Alfred in Whiterun has a matter that requires a delicate touch. This cat is mostly delicate. I've not knocked a single thing off a table yet. Yet! I'm sure I will. Or I have, and I've just forgot. Smudge is back at Whiterun for the 50th time in the video. I'll hit cities more in this video than all of the others for sure. I really don't feel like I'm getting stronger doing these jobs so much. I guess we are in the way, but at least when it comes to combat, I'm not progressing very much. Not that combat is really the aim of the video. I'd like to not feel so weak though. I had a chat with Alfred. He says if someone called Arn has anything happen to him, they'll be held to pay. He's a friend of his. And he's in line for the block in Solitude, where to strike his name from the record books permanently. I went to Dragonreach and forged the prison registry. And then took a letter on a desk telling the steward of Whiterun that Solitude is after Arn. But a guard caught me coming out of the room. A 5 gold bounty. Here we go again. This time we're in better health and in a much easier prison, to be fair, to break out of than Markarth's. We have a lockpick in our pockets and a loose gate on the floor we can break out of. Now we just sneak around under the prison until we make it to a ladder that has a hatch we can climb out of. The guards now won't care if they see me. I'm a free cat man. Kinda. I have just 1 lockpick and 2 chests to pick open. One of them being the prisoner's belongings. I stayed out of sight, and surprisingly got it open without being spotted. But that was my items I'd not stolen, like my Thieves Guild stuff and quest rewards. All of my stolen stuff? It's in the other evidence chest that I can't seem to access undetected. The guard is constantly able to spot me. And I sat around for a long time, trying to wait for the guard to get his lazy butt up and go away so we're left alone with the chest. But it just wasn't happening. I gave up and left without my stolen goods. It's interesting too, because the game's just decided that some of my stuff I definitely stolen is no longer marked as such. I have my leather backpack, for example. It was in the prisoner's belongings chest and not the stolen evidence chest where it should have been. It sucks to lose the stuff in that chest. I'll come back when I'm a little sneakier and see if it's still in there. I slept and put a point into pickpocketing's light finger. So we can pick pockets, and for now, this guy is happy that Arn's records have been wiped. The guild now has clan Battleborn's full support, and will make sure our reputation flourishes here in Whiterun. And now going back to the guild, we have access to this new merchant. Sadly, not a fence. I thought going into this video that we could unlock new fences like this. We do throughout the game, but the merchants at the flagon aren't actually fences. They won't accept my stolen goods. They're just regular old, bog standard merchants. But they are still very handy to have. They unlock more opportunities like selling resources to us and all sorts of stuff like that. So this is great. Jobs at Whiterun don't really do much for us now that we finished the special quest. We should be aiming for other cities, but we have so many quests to do to unlock everything that it doesn't really matter if we do the odd one here and there in Whiterun. That Latrust fella's following me and Frost around. It's a little weird. Hopefully he doesn't linger around the entire video now. Did a couple more jobs, day 26. Nothing much to report, just robbing as much as I can from the houses I'm sent to. Needed to stock up again since I had everything confiscated from me. Terrible, terrible times. What's not terrible is this ring. I got a ring of minor sneak in at some point. It doesn't say stolen, so it must have been a quest reward. I'm gonna have to go back to Whiterun's prison to see if I can get my stuff back now that I've got it. Maybe it'll set me just over the edge to be sneaky enough to be undetected by that lazy guard. Who knows? Some Windhelm jobs today, though. That should get me to the next special job in this city. Look at us go. Delvin says there's a rival guild starting up in Windhelm, but they're giving the guild a bad name by murdering their marks. I don't blame them. If I was capable, I'd be doing the same, but Delvin says we need to shut this crap down. But first, I want to see if I can get my stuff back from the evidence box the guards took from me at Whiterun now. Nope. Looks like I'm still not sneaky enough to remain undetected here. I'll be back, you jerks. Took a carriage to Windhelm and met with this badass in the marketplace. His daughter had recently been robbed and killed by the guild that just started up. I assured him it wasn't our guild who did it. He believes in an eye for an eye and found the killer. The guild's a bunch of Altmer, calling themselves the Somerset Shadows. But now he wants help getting a silver locket they took. I questioned this lady, an elf in the marketplace who's the only name Cruelty had to work with. I threatened her into giving me information. She says she could have been killed and had to play along. The wiki says she had to cooperate with the rival guild to save her own neck, as she used the fence for the thieves guild. But then, Linwe and his group showed up. They forced her to fence for them, or be killed if she refused. Linwe is a member of the Somerset Shadows. She asks to be spared, as she would return to fencing for the Thieves Guild once Linwe and his crew were eliminated. I went to the cave the thieves were basing at, not far from Windhelm, but I stood no chance at this place. They spot me very easily, and I don't do enough damage or have enough health to combat them head on. I died a couple of times before giving up for now. I instead headed for Whiterun to make the trip from here to Bleak Falls, a pretty easy early game dungeon I can use to work on my combat a little bit more. I'm trying to get my one-handed up, and of course sneak while I'm here. I got a clean one-shot on this bandit by the entrance. Very, very weak bandit, but I'll take the wins when I can. I've now gotten stamina to 200, and I think I'll work on health a little bit for a while now. For the perk, I'm unlocking light armor to increase my armor rating. I did run past a few enemies like the giant spider. I don't fancy my chances there, but it was a hugely productive session in this place. I got lots of experience, and I didn't do half bad against the Draugr. I even managed to kill the Overlord at the end, taking sneak attack shots with my axe and running away to lose the aggro, before coming back to repeat, over and over until he's dead. I did take the Dragonstone since I'd need it to progress the main story if I was doing it, but I left with no loot, really. Nothing in here was marked as steal, so the trip was just for leveling. I'm no richer after doing this, but it'll help me get richer in the long run. Even hit Embouchard Mine while I was passing by. This place is full of low-level bandits that I won't plow through, but I can pick off slowly if I'm careful. I got 2 level ups. Both attributes will go into health, and perks can go into Sneak's stealth perk, so I'm a little harder to detect. And Deadly Aim to make sneak attacks with bows do 3 times more damage. I'm not using bows to do damage, but I need that perk to get the Assassin's Blade perk in a little bit.
By Eastmere, there's a killer about.
I even went to the Jarl of Whiterun today to tell him about the dragon attack that happened a month ago. And gave his court wizard that dragonstone, but I'm not doing any more here. Except getting my stolen goods from the prison. Yep. Now that I've invested more perks into sneak, I can finally get my hands on this chest while not being seen. I grabbed my stuff and left quickly. I can't believe it was still there, to be fair. I can't remember if it ever goes or if it's there forever, but I'm happy I got it either way. Hopped on the carriage for Riften. I'm here to sell stuff to the fence with my inventory being so full and do a little pickpocket training to get a level up. Now we can take Assassin's Blade and do 15 times sneak attack damage with daggers. That is absolutely insane. But if you can believe it, I'm still not doing much damage. Us playing in legendary difficulty will do that. Upgraded my leather backpack with a thief backpack to help my lockpicking, and swapped over my axe for an orcish dagger to get that massive sneak bonus. That's 150 damage if we use a sneak attack. I'm not sure if we're ready to deal with the other guild yet, but let's go see if we can take them out. I got on my horse at Windhelm and made a move towards Utterin Hills Cave, where the Somerset shadows hang out. I snuck past the Altmar on the outside of the cave, but I creeped up on everyone on the inner area and took a stab. Practically everyone was a one-shot kill, which I didn't think would be a thing. This is as strong as I've felt this entire run, and the most fun I've had besides breaking out of Whiterun's prison and acquiring a shank in Markarth's. Unfortunately, I hit a brick wall in the form of a thief called Linwe. He's got a lot more health than the others, and can't die in just one stab from my dagger. I made sure everyone except Linwe was dead, and even picked the locket from his pocket successfully in one go. But then took stabs and run away from the boss to get him to lose my scent, and returned from behind in the shadows to take another whack at his health bar. The knob's dead, and I burned the guild's banner, making my retreat from the couple left on the outside. The guild is no more, and Cruelty is happy with what we've gotten up to for him. Now back at Riften, I can tell Delvin about how we got on, and get access to another merchant selling alchemy ingredients. I bought a paralysis poison from him just in case, and made my way to Solitude. I'm needing the special job there and in Markarth done. I have a job in both cities. I arrived in Solitude real tired, but it's getting close to nighttime, and I'd rather have the people in the homes I'm hitting be out and about during the day than at home resting during the night while I break in, like I talked about earlier. This is Advar's house. I broke in and quickly placed the stolen amethyst in a chest to set them up. Left, and popped on a ride to Markarth real quick. We'll do something else soon. I'm sure you're getting bored of these jobs. I'm getting there too, honestly. I was bored a long time ago of these jobs, honestly. We got so much further to go. It's gotta be done if we ever want to buy smithing and alchemy stuff, for example. I'm not sure how far, if at all, we'll get into grinding crafting skills, but those two fences would have opened up the game a lot in this playthrough with what they sell. I'm nearly there with all of the special jobs, so we'll get them done and see how we get on in the main quest line for a bit. I just had to take 500 gold worth of goods from Markarth. I didn't rest again while here. It sucks not being able to see well, but I don't want to use up more time while here. We're losing enough with all of the traveling I'm doing. I took enough stuff from the inn in town and got my fluffy butt out of here. It's funny because I very much did the shill job for Vex. I have it recorded on camera, and Vex only gives me the option to quit the job and not complete it. That's weird. You better watch your back. I own a prison shank that I'm taking to the grave. This is how we're doing on collectibles, by the way. I got the jeweled candlestick we get for doing 5 jobs, the ornate drinking horn for 15 jobs, and lastly the golden ship model for 25 jobs. Only, roughly, 100 more to go. This is gonna take a while. These should be the last 2 jobs we need to do in Markarth before getting the special job here. I need to mess with the ledger at the inn, and plant a stolen copper and moonstone circlet in Ogman's house in town. That's gonna do it. Arrived back at Riften late day 37. Delvin coughs up the special job. Says a silversmith in Markarth wants a chat. His father was good friends with our guild way back, and we could use his family's influence back on our side. After the way the Somerset Shadows quest went, I thought a little gear boost was due. It's not enough, but I upgraded my dagger to fine quality. That's 1 whole damage more than before. Doesn't sound like much. And like I said, it's not enough really, but with our sneak bonus, that's 15 more damage. Had a conversation with this guy, pouting in the middle of town. He says he got scammed by someone. He made arrangements for horse-related items to be delivered, and the shipment never made it to him. Sapphire, the person who made the deal with him, still wants her pay, and he's scared she'll kill him if he doesn't get it. I'm a big fan of Sapphire. She has a tragic story, and is one of ours. If he thinks I'm siding with him over this bad he's got another thing coming. I took a cut from Sapphire, and told this guy I couldn't help him drop his debt. Now for Markarth to get a hold of the next objective for the special job there. Not much to say about this day. I practically lost it due to travel. I should use my horse more, really. I met the silversmith at the inn and was told about the job. He says he ordered some special silver mold from some artisans in Valenwood by the way of Khajiit caravan. As you'd expect, it never arrived, just like the Sapphire situation. Though he found out his order was taken by bandits, led by someone called Strongarm, and he even has a location they're held up in. He asked for help from people like the Jarl, but everyone else said that their resources are spread too thin. So here we are, taking advantage, trying to get our names reach back to Markarth. Send in a thief to steal back what was already stolen. We're off to Falkreath's area to get to the location I was given. It's this random looking house. It doesn't look too menacing from the outside. I picked the lock to get in and bribed the woodcutter into telling me how to proceed. He mentions a secret button in his home and says he's taken a long break from woodcutting, if we know what he means. I don't, and he's too slow to leave, resulting in my knife stabbing him in the back. The button reveals a massive underground area full of bandits. It started out well, picking up the bandits, but it got to the point where there wasn't much wiggle room for hiding and being cheap with my shots, to the point where I don't think this is doable. I'm dying left and right. I feel like I need to be doing like 3 times the damage I'm doing right now to be able to feel strong in this place, and I'm just, I'm just dead again, really. I left and made my way back to Riften. Before we get on with trying to get stronger, let's spend this level up. I'm taking health for the attribute, and I made it to level 60 sneak so we can take the next stealth level to be even more sneaky. To grind our crafting skills with the rules we've set in place won't be as simple as a regular playthrough. The bow merchant trades smithing resources, so that will help, but it'll be just a little bit slower for us. Get into elven smithing in the smithing tree is our best bet for now. It only requires level 30 smithing. I bought some braces from a merchant that had a major smithing enchant on it. Then, using all of the resources I could find, I crafted a load of items at the forge. I didn't have any rules set in place for crafting. I think making potions and gear is fine. Stealing the resources and acquiring gold to get resources seems like a fun way to get my stuff made and upgraded. Today, however, was maybe the worst day of my thief's career. I didn't get smithing that much and went into the blacksmith's home to steal what I could. I got lots of ingots, but got caught stealing some leather. And I tried to kill who caught me to have no witnesses and ended up with a humongous bounty for the murder. I didn't have enough gold to bribe the guard and got my troublemaking cat self tossed behind bars. I had issues with this prison. Not just personal ones for locking me up, but technical ones screwing me over too. I stole the key from the guard's pockets when he passed by and escaped out of my cell, and even left the prison entirely. Unlike Whiterun's prison, they continued to have a problem with me after I got my hands on my gear. I got thrown back into jail about 5 times. That's on me. But the bounty proceeds when I leave, no matter what, and the guards won't drop it. They're holding a grudge, and I can't escape a free man. Or cat. A free cat. I have no choice but to serve my time. It's not against the rules to do so, but I do need to try always to escape, which I felt like I'd done. This is devastating because serving time essentially just skips a week in-game. I could reload saves to avoid it, but it's part of the risk to reward decision making I think makes this playthrough fun at the same time. I lost that time, and it does feel, like I said, devastating. I stole my stuff back and got on with my day, crafting what I could, getting me up to level 23 smithing. Spent some time in Whiterun looking for more ingots and general smithing resources. I didn't find much. I got some stuff to sell, so it wasn't a complete waste of time. I can sell all of this to buy more resources at the guild. I was also checking everyone's pockets as I went, hoping for any one-handed buffing enchanted items. I didn't get any here, but I did come to think about my weapon loadout. See, I stole an elven sword. Swords do more damage in general than daggers, but are slower to swing. I'll keep a dagger in my left hand for the sneak attack bonus, and then switch to swords if I get caught sneaking, or just start using dual wield attacks. Just prior to that, I did take a point into dual flurry as well, so our dual wield attacks are 20% faster. So now our DPS is up pretty good. Up to no good in Windhelm. Trying to steal stuff again. I didn't find any one-handed buffing items, but I did spot a ring with fortified smithing on it. I checked to see what I already had, knowing I had something already with the smithing enchant on it. I have braces, so it would be beneficial to get the ring as well. That would be 2 different items with the enchantment. Don't mind me Googling if the Windhelm prison is hard to break out of. It says it is, but it's not impossible like Markarth's. I tried always to become undetected, to attempt the pickpocket. The market is just too packed with people, but I can still try. It's got a 57% chance of success. My heart is pumping. I clicked the button and got the item without being seen. What luck that was. When we upgrade our eventual elven dagger and sword, it'll be better with those braces and ring equipped. I got smithing to level 25 after trading with the guild traders, and even went down the road to Shaw's Stone because I heard there was a forge there and hoped to steal some ingots or ore. The mine, however, was dry and riddled with spiders. I'd also caught the attention of this thug. No idea what his deal is, but I'll take the chance to level up one-handed and try out my switch to dual-handed. Turns out this chump can't die. He's essential for something. I just ran away. I just ran away. Dawnstar's one of the only towns I'd not hit yet. I can't say I got much here. The blacksmiths are dry, and the mine in town has everything not marked as steel. So I rode Frost over to Solitude. Lots going on over there for me to get my dirty little paws into. I checked many pockets, but the big steal was at the blacksmith's home. I got a lot of ingots I missed in my first run around here. Pairing all of this with whatever I can buy at the guild on the next restock will be for sure getting me to level 30 smithing. I'd say, hopefully. Bought what I could back at the guild and pumped my smithing up to level 30. I can only take steel smithing for now because I don't have 2 perk points to spend, but that's easily fixable. I'll work on that in a minute. But for now, let's get an elven dagger. We could make one once we get the skill in smithing, but I think stealing one fits the build more. Google says Delphine has one in her inventory over in Riverwood. I'd guess we'd get sent to Whiterun's prison if we're arrested, so it's not too bad. Escaped that place last time with no trouble at all, but let's hope we don't get banged up again after what happened last time. There's Delphine. I snuck over to check my chances of success. 87%. I like those odds. I did get to a better position so nobody could see me, but the percentage didn't budge from the 87 to my surprise. I clicked and succeeded first try. I'd hate to get arrested and have to break out of prison to have another go and potentially get thrown in prison over and over again over a dagger. But we don't have to worry about that now. What I do have to worry about is getting some refined moonstone to upgrade my sword and new dagger. I've got my fingers crossed the guild will have some for sale, but I can't remember seeing any there before now. Oh, look at that! This guy has 4 for sale. I'll take 2 and go get them upgraded. Well, I would if I had the perk to make upgrading elven gear better. To get levels easy, I can go up to a locked door and just snap lockpicks over and over again. It's wasteful, but each attempt gives you a little bit of XP. I did it to get free lockpicking levels, giving me an overall character level up. I took elven smithing, put on my smithing gear, and drank a blacksmith's potion, getting the quality to exquisite. The dagger does 21 damage when I'm healthy, and the sword does 23. Not as good as I'd hoped, but if we can get some fortify one-handed gear and level one-handed some more in general, we'd be looking pretty good on backstab damage. I did something today I thought I'd never get around to doing. The Golden Glow estate job across the river. Mercer and Brynjolf gave us this job ages ago, and it's just been sitting idle waiting for my fluffy butt's return. I'm hoping I'm more capable of doing it. Now don't get me wrong, I am more capable. I'm going to do it, but I was hoping for a cutthroat approach, taking enemies down. And it didn't go that way. It went the way of just 1 kill and sneaking past everyone else. I don't do well when outnumbered in this playthrough, and it's probably for the best. Though I was hoping to level one-handed, bashing on some people here. I stole some documents the guild wanted from a safe, and burned 3 beehives quietly to send a message before making my escape. Someone is trying to drive a wedge between Maven Blackbriar and the guild by ruining connections we have. Maven has a job for us. We're to head to Whiterun and meet someone called Malice Marcus. Let's try to keep her sweet on the guild. I met with Malice in Whiterun, but the footage is short, so I don't have that on camera. But he sent me over here to the Meadery down the road. We're to set up the owner and take control of the place. See, he has a pest issue. I twist his arm for 500 gold to sort it out for him, and head down into the cellar. Lots of skeevers and spiders down here. My sneak attacks are getting vicious now, but once I'm spotted, it's like I'm working with butter knives, and I'm really not much use spotted. So I'd run away to regain my undetected state, and then return in the shadows to take shots at my enemies ahead of me. I couldn't kill the mage living down here though. I instead planted some poison to kill the vermin, and snuck around the mage to get to the area where they brew the mead. Messed with the mead good, and went back to watch a taste test a guard's doing. The guard's upset there's something wrong with the mead and carts off the owner to jail. Been there, done that. Many times. Now Malice is in charge, and it couldn't have gone any better, really. I got some documents and found a Thieves Guild collectible to sell to Delvin. This is the Hunenbrew decanter, or however you say it. I got a level up during that adventure. I'm taking Bladesman, so swords have a 10% chance to do some critical damage. We can also now pass this collectible over to Delvin for a 300 gold profit and have it displayed up on the shelves behind Mercer. Passing by Maven, I had a quick chat with her to progress the questline. But Brynjolf and Mercer can wait for their small talk. I'm going back to the Golden Glow estate because I forgot a Thieves Guild collectible there. A Queen Bee statue can be found in that place, and I totally forgot about it. What's funny is I happened to get a good few kills here this time around. It's funny because earlier I thought I stood no chance of killing people in this building, really. Getting a dual wheel sneak and then following up on another right after is taking most enemies down. I made it to the Queen Bee, resting on a table next to a bed on the second floor, and made my escape once again. I can't get caught in a fair fight or I'll die, so all my attempts to draw blood have to be from the shadows if I want to stand a chance against anyone here. I made it out and sold the bee to Delvin. That's 5 items collected and up on display. Now for the next part of the questline. Someone, like I said earlier, is trying to mess with the guild, and where to find out who. On all the documents I'd been getting lately, Mercer figured out a slimy fella called Golemai is who needs to be talked to up in Solitude. He's got his nose firmly in this business, and should be able to point us in the right direction with some persuading. There's the slimy jerk. I made it, and I've been eyeing him up for the last 5 minutes. Not because I'm trying to freak him out or anything. I'm currently trying to make a sandwich. This thief life is hungry work. It's a chicken salad sandwich, if you're curious. He told me he'd get me some information if I stole a case of Firebrand wine from the Blue Palace. He has a buyer for a case lined up and could do with me getting one for him. The case might be in the Blue Palace, but if you fail this robbery, you absolutely suck and deserve the jail time, to be fair. Actually, just let them lock you up in real life if you fail this. It's the quietest hallway in the entire game, and I've never encountered issues here, no matter how bad my character is at sneaking. Returned with the wine, but the lizard's holding out on me, and gives me practically no useful information. So, I tail him. I tail him all the way to the docks, where he enters the East Empire Company warehouse. I followed him through, passing by hostiles undetected. I did hide behind this rock pillar, and got knocked out of my socks by this log trap. But other than being as dead as they come, there was no drama, really. Well, kinda. See, I made it to the end, where we're supposed to confront him, and he's nowhere to be seen. I've never had this happen before. I circled back around to Solitude since being slightly blind through tiredness was annoying the heck out of me. I got my head down and went back for another go. Oh, there was also this map in the warehouse that I nearly missed. I can sell this to Delvin and get it displayed too. This time, Golemai was where he was supposed to be, and I quickly confronted him because I'd left enemies alive around us, and I didn't want to be spotted. I ran out of enemy territory and to the carriage so we can get home to Riften. Travel essentially eliminated day 58 from making an appearance in this video. Other than spending a level up, there's not much more to say about it. It's a good level up though. I made it to level 40 one-handed and took the 3rd armsman. So one-handed attacks do more damage. Now the elven sword does 30 damage and the dagger does 24. This will help immensely with the tough quest we have ahead of us. Sold the map to Delvin to get our 6th item up on display. It's looking busier on the shelves over there now. Golemai revealed the name Carlia as who's been trying to mess with the guild. She supposedly killed the old guild leader Gallus, and Mercer wants to be rid of her once and for all. He says where she's off to based on the information I'd given him. It's where Gallus's body lays cold at Snowvale Sanctum, up between Windhelm and Winterhold. Oh, I also get to have one of my pieces of guild gear upgraded now for free at the guild as a reward. The enchant on it will be buffed, basically. I went with the hood to increase my speech percentage on it. I took a carriage to Windhelm and rode Frost for Snowvale Sanctum. Mercer's already here and will be accompanying us through the Draugr-filled dungeon. I was in here for a long time. The first half of the dungeon we stormed through. And I mean we stormed through. Taking the Draugr down is easy with 2 of us. I've been avoiding followers as useful as they might be in some situations because they just get in the way if you're actually trying to be sneaky. They make fighting easier, but I don't want to use them in this playthrough really. This place helped get one-handed up a good bit. With Mercer as a meat shield, it gives me plenty of opportunities to just swing openly on the dead without worrying about sneaking around too much. I got up past level 50 for the one-handed tree and got stabbed by Mercer Frey for it. Yep, I've been betrayed. But Carlia saved me. See, Carlia didn't kill Gallus. It was Mercer, and he framed Carlia for it. She has Gallus's journal, but it's all wrote in Falmer text. Let's go figure out what it says. Down in Markarth, we can find a museum with the info we need. I got a level up to spend. I'm taking the final stealth perk to make me 40% better overall at sneaking. Look at these guards. They're mourning the passing of their buddy. I'm not sure what happened to him, but it looks like a sad day for them. So you can do a quest for Calcelmo the Wizard at the Understone Keep to get your hands on a key to the museum. But in this playthrough, I'm just stealing the key and sneaking past the guards. I actually did this entire quest without being spotted even once. There are a lot of enemies along the way to sneak past, but I'm getting pretty good at this keep into the shadows business. Even stole me another unique item Delvin will buy off us. A Dwemer puzzle cube. I found the Falmer text on the tablet and made a rubbin using some paper and charcoal. More guards show up, but I climb over them and out the door I came from. Jumped down the waterfall and made my escape through Markarth City. What a day. Let's get back to Winterhold and talk to Carlia. Day 62 was lost to travel again, but I do have a level up for my efforts in Markarth. A well-deserved level up, I'd say. Taking the next dual flurry, so dual wielding attacks is now 35% faster. Carlia and her friend discovered the journal says Mercer had been stealing from the guild for years now, and Gallus got suspicious. So, he killed Gallus, and let Carlia take the fall for it. We now have proof and should return there with Carlia to show them what we've discovered. We were met with drawn swords. But here's the thing. The stash room Mercer had been stealing from has been open for me the entire playthrough. Yep, this door's normally mega locked up, but it's not been, and I've seen the empty chests for a long time. A bug I've never experienced. I waited inside as they unlocked the door I just closed behind me.
28. It's gone. Everything's gone. Get in here, all of you.
They were shocked to see it's all gone and send me off to Mercer's home to see if I can find what he's planning next. The home's here in Riften and is guarded inside and out by thugs. I took a stab at the guy outside and hid in a tree to lose aggro. I then snuck back up on him and got the killing blow. I don't have any ranged weapons to be able to shoot the gears holding the bridge and be able to lower it, so I parkoured my way around rooftops awkwardly to get to the door and pick my way in. What I'm most excited about here is another item to sell to Delvin. We can then display at the guild HQ. We kill a few of his men and find his plans to steal the eyes of the Falmer. Oh, and the bust of the Grey Fox. This is the item for Delvin I was talking about. But those eyes of the Falmer will make him rich, says Brynjolf. He'll be well set up, and we can't let him get them. This is the part where we're to become nightingales, but I've been holding a grudge. A grudge with Grelod the Kind. No, not really. She's dead, and nobody will miss her. But I want to work on that Pine Watch quest we failed earlier. We need to do more damage, and be a little bit more sneaky to do it. Now that Grelod's dead, we can go to Aventus Arentino in Windhelm, who's been performing the Black Sacrament to get the Dark Brotherhood's attention, so they'll come and help kill Grelod. She ran the orphanage this little guy was in, and was terrible to the kids there. He's happy, I'd already taken her out. But now, while sleeping, we get catnapped, and are introduced to Astrid of the Dark Brotherhood. She says for stealing the kill, we owe her one in return. And I'm to find out who of the free people in the shack have a contract on them, and take them out.
Now it's time to face the consequences of your actions. You don't leave this shack until someone dies.
Oh, someone's gonna die. And it's not Astrid! I attacked her and paid for it pretty good. I was hoping to kill her and get her armware, but that's not gonna happen at this point in time. I have no choice but to follow through with her request and kill the man and woman in the shack, leaving my fellow Khajiit alive.
Whoever this is, clearly we got off on the wrong foot. But no worries. This is not the first time I have been bagged and dragged.
She says to meet her at the Falkreath Brotherhood Sanctuary if I want to continue this relationship. And I really don't. But I will for the gear. See, after telling the sanctuary door the passphrase and gaining entry, I'm given a set of brotherhood gear now, and the boots and gloves are what interest me the most. The boots let the wearer be muffled and move silently, while the gloves give backstab damage they can do double the backstab damage, meaning our 15 times backstab is now a 30 times backstab. Absolutely nuts, and I should have gotten it way sooner. I promise I'm never gonna see those assassins again. I'm going to Pine Watch to get that silver mold for the jewelry maker in Markarth. I did kill a good few of the men and women here for revenge, but I also snuck by a lot of them. The leader specifically, I made sure to leave alive. Not just because he'd kick the crap out of me if I tried anything, but because he'll wake in the morning with some of his men dead and the mole taken while he slept. And something about that just makes me happy. And yes, he would have also kicked the crap out of me for sure. Feels good to get that job done. I'm not so nervous about whatever that 4th special job will be now. Maybe I should be, but I'm not. I made a mistake. One that will cost me some time, and I'm a little bit frustrated about it. See, I'm in Riften. I had a brain fart and I forgot to turn in the quest to the guy in Markarth and give him his mold back. I skipped a step and tried telling Delvin the job's been done. Took the chance to get to know Cynric while here. He's known for being a good lockpick. He says he's a natural at jailbreaking, getting himself locked up to either free someone inside or take them out on someone else's behalf. He's actually quite the horn tutor, if I do say so myself. And he's very much showing off with how long he's been holding that bow drawn. We better return that mold to the jewel smith over in Markarth. I didn't bother sleeping again, even though my vision's a mess. I try to most of the time, but for your benefit. I know if it weren't for you guys watching, I deal with the blurriness a little bit more than I should. But I didn't want to rest up and waste more time than I needed to today. There's a lot I'd like to do in this video that I know we won't have time to be able to get to with the time restraint. The mold man is happy and says he'll help us gain some reputation in the hold. Now getting back to Delvin, he says a 3rd shop has opened up in the Flagon. This time, a blacksmith. This will make it easier to get upgrades to our character if we decide to down the line. I'm looking for jobs in Solitude. That's the last special job we need to do. And I'm just 1 away from getting that special job there. But it would be beneficial to get 2 in case I fail one and have the other one to fall back on once I'm up there. I got a numbers and shill job in the hold. I can't really fail the numbers one, but you never know. I could find a way. I arrived super tired. I rented a room on the way to bed. Passed by the ledger. I got down low to the ground and forged the sucker. I'll sleep easy, knowing that job's done. I spent a perk point on light armor's agile defender to boost the armor rating, and went down the street for the shill job. I have 1 single lockpick to my name. Breaking all of those lockpicks to level up is coming back to bite me in the butt now. But it's just a novice lock that did open pretty quick, thankfully. I robbed the place blind and got the stolen jewel placed in the chest to set up whoever the heck lives here. That's both jobs done successfully. Now Delvin should have something special lined up for us. All these special jobs I must have done before, since I did get the Platinum Trophy on PlayStation 2 times way back, both on PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4. There's trophies and achievements to get the guild's name back out there, and you'd have to do them for those achievements, but I for the life of me can't remember these special jobs. It feels like I'm doing something I've never done in Skyrim before, and I'm loving it. He says to get up to Solitude and talk to some guy in the Blue Palace called Erica. Lots of back and forth from one side of the map to the other here. Erica, talking loudly around the Jarl and company, I might add, says some sailors had an agreement with him, and they aren't holding up their end of the bargain. He wants me to sneak on his boat and plant some illegal contraband. I loved this quest. I thought I did good in some parts, but terrible in others, but I did enjoy it a lot. I'm to get some Balmora blue from a thug at the Red Wave ship. This lady wants me to purchase some for 1,500 gold, but I did some investigating. I snuck through the ship to the very bottom and opened up a safe there with my single lockpick. Yes, I've still not bought more yet. I found a note explaining where the captain keeps her Balmora blue. It's in a chest under the Red Wave ship I'm in currently. I swam around looking for it, and when I did find it, I broke my single lockpick trying to get it open. Great. I'm forced to pick her pockets for a key. I put on my Thieves Guild boots for a minute to help, and again, with some luck, got the key to the chest in just 1 go. I've been really lucky with pickpocketing lately, I'll admit. The Balmora Blue just looks like some skooma. I'll try not to do whatever Khajiit do with this stuff and plant it where I was told to and not where I want to. A ship along the river called the Dainty Sload. This is where things go a little pear-shaped. The people on board are not friendly and don't want me trespassing on their ship. I snuck around to the door but got spotted deep below by the first mate, an orc, who I surprisingly put down in a 1v1. I planted the Balmora Blue, and now the entire ship is trying to stroke this kitten with their blades. I jumped off the ship into the water and fled for solitude to tell the guy of my recent success. Even though I was very clearly spotted, it doesn't matter in this shill job. He's happy and says he'll help open up doors for the guild in solitude. Let's go tell Delvin the good news. He says another merchant has opened up shop at the Flagon. Oh, I'm also getting 250 gold per job now too, so that's nice. Still not huge, but better than the 50 gold we started at. This guy's another tool or armor guy by the looks of things. That's 3 traders here with smithing resources. Tanelia, the OG merchant, has some words for us. Now the business is booming, she has something else for us to do. We're lacking a reliable way to transport merchandise across Skyrim. She wants the help of the Khajiit caravans around the game, and for me to bring something to their leader, Risard. They're notorious for transporting illegal substances, and getting them on board with the guild is probably a good idea. Who better to send than a fellow feline? I'm to barter with him over a satchel of moon sugar to make a deal. I went to Whiterun and planned to rest up and ride Frost to wherever the Khajiit are marked on the map. They moved though, and were between Whiterun and Markarth before I slept, but they conveniently made it just outside Whiterun as I went to make a move. Not much to this quest really. He loses his crap over the moon sugar, like it's catnip, and took the deal to work with the guild. That's it. We're done. That really is all there is to it, and Tanelia gives me a coin purse worth 400 gold. If we rewind a little, on my way through the guild's HQ, I got to know Gartha today. Before he joined the guild, he caught Vex fighting a ton of wolves, and lent a hand. When they were done dealing with the dogs, Vex then tried to rob him. They had quite the fight, but it all ended with him earning Vex's respect, and she offered him a place here, which he accepted. I wanted to spend the day doing jobs for Delvin and Vex, but focusing specifically on Riften to maximize how many we can do in a day, since we won't be traveling between holes this way. Canceling jobs and accepting new ones until I get one here in Riften, often resulting in hitting the same place twice. I also wasn't shy about doing jobs at nighttime. I'd been avoiding it in the past in hopes the residents won't be home, and they'll be out working during the day, allowing me to be home alone. But my sneak's gotten much better, and it's not much trouble taking the night shift anymore. I did about 10 jobs in one day before getting bored and changing things up. I found an unusual gem a while back, and there's 24 of them to collect for a job with Vex. He's not interested in them one at a time, but wants me to return if I get the full set of gems. I pulled up the wiki, and I'm gonna go through them one at a time. Eastmarch is first on the list. There's a gem in this excavation place. This place was full of mages. One was screaming the entire way through about how someone she loved was taken from her before she had a chance to reanimate him, or some rubbish. Oh, wow. I'm just here for the gem, lady. I snuck around everyone in the end room best I could, and grabbed my second gem, and made my exit before she started rambling again. Next one, slightly easier to get. In a cave called Stony Creek Cave, there's a few bandits to deal with, and the gems just sat on a table in one of these rooms, not too deep into the place. 3 down, 21 to go. There's 2 in Windhelm, but we've already gotten one of them earlier. The one I missed is in the Palace of the Kings itself. If we go upstairs and follow the corridor to the wizard's quarters, we can find one just up on this table. The wiki's sending me to Falkreath next. We have access to the Dark Brotherhood despite not really giving a crap about them. It's useful because there's one in Astrid's room near the entrance. I'm hoping I can actually get all of these and not have to go through heaps of quests for any of them, but we'll see. So far, so good. Pine Watch is up. I didn't know there was one in here the other 2 times I visited this place in the video. The enemies have respawned, so that's fun. It won't be as easy as I'd have liked to, but my character is much more capable these days, and I'm not worried about it. These chumps stood no chance, and I claimed my 6th gem. Thunderstone Gorge is up near Falkreath. This place can be rough, but it wasn't too bad with this character, surprisingly. cutthroat my way through, killing all of the mages and skeletons on the way. Got the gem on a table near a word wall I couldn't care less about. Got a solid amount of gems today. Going back to the dainty sload ship. I missed a lot going around the map by the looks of things. I could have gotten some of these earlier and saved time, but oh well. I was in a bit of a panic at the dainty sload last time, to be fair. I killed practically everyone this time around to get revenge. I was alone and afraid last time. Now, I'm blood hungry and still alone. There's the gem. The third gem of the day is at the Falmer Embassy, but we can still get to it without actually going through the embassy. So you exit the place in the main quest line through a cave underground, so we should be able to find it along this road. It's unmarked, but it's called the Reekin Cave. Ah, there it is. In here is a troll to kill and a gem to take. Next up, down the road to Solitude City itself. I looked the Jarl dead in the eyeballs, and then left and struggled to find her quarters. In here you can get yet another gem. I just got far enough down the list to see that there's one in Proudspire Manor. This place costs 25,000 gold. This is an expensive collectible, and we can't get it just yet. I'll take note that I've missed that one and carry on down the list for now. Let's get to Ranveig's Fast. There's spirits here yelling about not wanting to kill you or something, but I do not share the same problem. I took them out without even thinking about it, and found the gem on a table in the prison area of the dungeon after killing whoever this guy is. That's 5 in 1 day. I think. I can count, I swear. Markarth's up. First gem's located at the Treasury House. I can't say I remember ever going into this place, but I can pick a lock and sneak around this guy to grab the gem and sneak on out. There's one in the Dwemer Museum too. On the left side of the museum, getting past the guards. I already stole the key to this place many moons ago. Door opens up with a twist of the wrist, and there is gem number 13. We're over halfway now. Another was gotten at the top of Dead Crone Rock, guarded by a hag raven that saw my fluffy butt and lived to tell the tale. Because I can't be bothered with that crap. I'm out. Wide runs up with a few easy to get gems. The Jarls of the game have a thing for these gems. This one's next to Jarl Balgruff's bed. Another was in Kodlak's room at Yarvaska in town. And the final one to get here is in the town's Hall of the Dead. They have a skeleton problem, but it's nothing we can't handle. Gem number 17 down. Just 7 to go. I thought I knew where Felglow Keep was. I went to a couple of bandit camps, but it's neither here nor a bandit camp. It's a mage's hangout up on the hill to the side of Whiterun. I slowly picked off the magic wielders and found the gem sat near an alchemy table deep into the place. My hometown of Riften's up next. Like I said, the Jarls seem to like these things, and Riften's Jarl is no different. You can find one near her bed in Mistvale Keep. Another gem, plagued by revenge next. I'm at the Blackbriar Lodge, where we originally found Frost, my horse. There's a gem here, and I left this place running for my life. But this time around, there are no lives leaving this place except mine. I killed everyone before I made it to the gem. It would be more fitting to get in and out with the gem while playing a thief, but this was personal. Couple over near Dawnstar now. One in a dungeon I can't remember visiting in past playthroughs. It's pretty cool with an icy vibe to it throughout. There's the gem. Oh, I got sneak to level 100 too, that's an achievement. I took both Lightfoot to not trigger pressure plate traps anymore, and silent roll, so the sprint button executes a forward roll while sneaking. Hobbs Fall caves not too far from here. We can get another one there. I didn't get to the end of this place, however. Once I get to the gem, in a lot of these places, I just leave and move on to the next one, even if there's more to explore in these locations. To get one of the 2 left, we need to join the Mages Guild and get access to the Archmage's quarters. We have to get a spell from Ferelda at the entrance to the college. Now, to prove ourselves, we prove we can use the spell. I got the Mage Light spell for 30 gold offer. This is one of those things I'm gonna let slide, because without access to the Mages College, we can't get on with our thieves business, so I'm not too worried about coughing up 30 gold to Ferelda. I did everything needed. I did the first lesson with Pulse Deer, and went on their silly field trip that led to fighting lots of undead. I found something special during the Mage's quest line that I'm not gonna show, because all I'm doing this far is that gem. There's the Archmage. I'm to report. But instead, I grabbed the 23rd gem and robbed the place dry. We need 25,000 gold, so every little bit helps. Took Frost and rode from Winterhold to Windhelm so we can take the carriage back down to Riften to spend some time there. I'm not sure what level of glitch this was, but it doesn't surprise me. I died as I arrived for no reason at all, and respawned back at Winterhold, having to do the traveling all over again. When I did eventually make it to Riften, I spent the rest of the day powering through some jobs from Delvin and Vex. Just Riften jobs, really. Doing it to get the 125 jobs total done, but also make enough gold to buy Proud Spire mana. We can make gold that way, but we can also grind smithing using our resources either stolen from townsfolk or purchased from the guild, then enchant that stuff at the enchanter to make them more pricey to sell on. It doesn't feel like a very guild-like way to make gold. But remember, this wouldn't be happening without my Life of Crime funds. The most painful part of all of this is re-rolling quests with Vex and Delvin to get Riften jobs. Looking at the job menu, it's just an endless sea of, well, canceling jobs. We could use this to track how many we've done, but it's gonna be too annoying passing up the failed ones I cancelled. I'm going nuts doing these jobs. I'm thinking I'm about halfway through how many I need to do, but I could be wrong. I'd have to check the wiki to see what the latest collectible is we've got, to line up with how many jobs we needed to do to get it, to get a rough idea of where we're at. And I'm trying to just mindlessly do it and not keep track at the minute. It would be hugely demotivating knowing I've got like 70 left to do. I wanted to keep you guys updated as I went, but screw you guys. What I don't know won't hurt me. I've done enough jobs, however, to have saved up that 25,000 gold for the house in Solitude, where the final gem is located. I also grabbed 2 jobs for Solitude to do while I'm there. I'm gonna get the small jobs out of the way first, then get on to getting the home. Now that I think of it, I really hope I don't need decoration money to upgrade the home. I'm not sure if that's the only way the gem shows up. We'll find out soon enough. I stole an ornate drinking horn for Vex in a house, and for Delvin, I forged the ledger at the stables down the road. Now to get the house, there's a couple things we still have to do besides have the funding. We needed to clear out a cave for the steward. There's more to this quest. They're trying to raise a wolf queen or something, but all I really want to do is take everyone out and get my house. We won't follow up with any of this after I've gotten the gem from the home. They're dead. But the Jarl also wants me to give an offering to Talos for her late husband who got murdered by Ulfric Stormcloak. The Talos shrine is east from Whiterun, and it's really not a hard objective. Just place this horn and all is done. Now, back at Solitude, I can purchase Proud Spire mana. It's a bit of a dump here, and if I can help it, I'm not helping it. I don't want to upgrade the home, and yes, I won't have to. There's the final gem. What luck. Later, I arrived at Riften to talk to Vex about having all 24 gems. Instead of getting a massive chunk of gold for my collection, she instead persuades you into going after a special crown, called the Crown of Barenziah. It'll grant the guild abilities that will help us get rich, she says. The crown is a paragon for the Thieves Guild, and we should have it. It's located at Tolvald's Cave. Me and my horse are currently taking it to a wolf in the wild. I turned around and spotted a bear. I fled for the hills, while my horse, too, ran in the other direction. There's a tooltip saying bears are not aggressive unless provoked, but that's a load of bullshit. I lost its aggro and made my way into the cave. I'm not sure why I have such trouble with these wraiths. I always find it hard to hit them. Alongside the wraiths, there's like a million Falmer in here. They aren't too hard to kill, but neither is sneaking around them with them being blind. There is the crown, sat in a pile of rubble, glowing like you wouldn't believe. Vex will be happy with the successful crown hunt. She was. She took the crown, and now we have the Prowler's Prophet. It's a passive ability that drastically increases the chances of finding gems in containers, including burial urns, chests, and even Draugr bodies, says Google. That is an awesome ability to have, and the display is looking glorious. The Grey Fox bust keeps falling on the ground, along with the map I found way back. Judging by the latest collectible we got from the jobs, it looks like we've done between 55 and 75. I knew there was a reason I wasn't checking. Here we go. Another day doing these jobs. I'm getting fed up of saying it, but more of the same jobs day 91. Running out of time to get this done. Just 9 days left, and many jobs to do. Still here grinding, and the Riften bunkhouse is messing me around. I have an objective to forge a ledger right around here, but it's nowhere to be seen. And where it actually is, downstairs, I can't interact with it to complete the objective. I took a step back and looked at the collectibles I'd already gotten, thinking about how impossible it is that I'd not gotten the jeweled pitcher yet. You get that for doing 75 jobs for Delvin and Vex. And then I noticed I already have the stupid thief safe you get access to after doing 125 jobs. I was looking out for the pitcher so much, I totally missed the safe. The jeweled pitcher must be bugged. And I'd been pointlessly doing more quests for the guild for God knows how long. The safe has dreadful loot and was not worth it. I'll be leaving that there anyways. I did forget a collectible in Snowvale Sanctum, so let's go get that done. I remember specifically telling myself before I came here earlier to remember to grab this collectible. And, well, it didn't happen, did it? All the enemies are dead, so it's an easy trip. The collectible's supposed to be on this pressure plate, but it's been knocked down here on the ground. This is another ship, and Delvin will be happy we found it. I handed it over, and that's all but the eyes of the Falmer collected, and the pitcher I'm never gonna see, apparently. Last we left off on the main quest line, Mercer was going after the eyes of the Falmer, so we better go catch up to him. I praised Nocturnal with Carlia and Brynjolf, and started to make my way where the eyes are located. I can't pronounce the name of this place, but it's between Windhelm and Whiterun. And I can't decide if Frost is the true MVP of this place, tanking shots from enemies, or if he's just stupid as crap, alerting everyone we're here. Everyone outside was killed, but inside, I snuck by everyone I could, and caught up with Carlia and Brynjolf. Together we passed by about 100 Falmer, and made it to the end of the dungeon, where we spot Mercer pulling the eyes out of the statue for himself. The floor between my feet crumbles, leaving just me and him to fight. But I'm not taking this guy in a 1v1 fairly. He got me good, but I somehow survived that hit, managing to run off and become undetected. I memorized his movements, and found a spot I knew he'd walk by looking for me, taking a strike and running for my life to lose aggro again. Rinse and repeat, and this guy's as dead as all get out. I took only the eyes of the Falmer and the skeleton key to progress the story. The dungeon is falling apart, and the room is filling with water as we speak. Luckily, I found a hole in the ceiling I escaped through while the water was nearing fully filling the room. Carlia wants me to return the skeleton key to Nocturnal. The key's a lockpick that just will not break, and could do well with me keeping it. But I also kind of want to return it before the video ends. Before doing that, I did return the Eye of the Falmer to Delvin. He gives me a nice chunk of coin for it, and that's all but the golden pitcher collected. Hopefully I didn't miss anything, but it's looking real good back there.
We drink to our youth, to days come and gone, for the age of aggression is just about...
We're in the Falkreath area on the way to the Twilight Sepulchre to return the skeleton key. This place should be pretty easy with our build. We have to deal with Nightingale Sentinels that die pretty quick with my backstab attacks. I even added a point into One-Handed's Armsman, so we do even more damage with these attacks. There's no end boss or anything to this location, but there is some interesting puzzles like this room not being allowed to step into the light or we'll take damage. But it ultimately ends when we fall into a pit, thinking we'll be stuck here forever. Only for the floor to disappear below my feet, revealing where to place the skeleton key. Nocturnal shows up and thanks me. Kinda.
What you fail to realize is your actions were expected and represent nothing more than the fulfillment of your agreement.
Then we can take one of 3 powers from the ground. I took Shadow Cloak of Nocturnal, so for 120 seconds a day we can automatically become invisible while sneaking. And that's the main quest line complete. There's one more thing I'd like to do in the video. Let's get on over to Riften. The Grey Fox's cowl is in the game. I think through an Anniversary Edition, but I'm not sure. That dead body we threw around in the graveyard earlier has a note that I'm allowing myself to pick up and read, because it leads to me getting a very cool thief-related item. This quest takes you around Skyrim, collecting notes and following a trail to get an ancestral sword. The notes wanted me to get this for reasons I do not know. I've done this quest before, but I can't remember how the story goes, and I'm not reading all of the notes again. Returning to the graveyard we found the dead body at with the ancestral sword. We get jump scared by this guy. We trade the blade for the cowl, and that's the job done. The cowl is a legendary item in the Elder Scrolls universe, and in Skyrim, sneaking is 25% better, carry capacity increases by 50 points, nearby living creatures but not undead, machines, or Daedric can be seen through walls. But guards become hostile if they see me wearing it. It doesn't look great on my Khajiit character, but I do still love this cowl. It's day 100. We've gotten all of the collectibles bar the glitched one, done all of the special jobs, and of course got all of the gems to restore the crown. We beat the guild's quest line and did it all as a sneaky thief best I could. I'm proud of where we are and how far we've come. I wasn't sure how possible the goals I set were, but we got it done. Thanks for watching. You guys take care. I'll see you around.